Hi, this is Sean. What I hope to do with my videos, and excuse me, the same thing will happen probably with all of them, the ones that will refute arguments, is that I will be doing it in two parts. Um, the first part to logically prove that the substance of their arguments are invalid, and then in the second part to show that the logical construct of their argument is invalid according to the rules of logic. So for this first one, I will be taking one argument and showing evidence completely to the contrary, and disproving that their argument has any validity whatsoever. All right, the substance of it. Now, I got this off of a website, robagnon.net, I think it was, and I chose these because he had them listed with the sub-arguments that are supposedly back up the main argument. And he stated on this website that marriage is not just about more intimacy. It is about merging with one's sexual other half or counterpart, a complementary sexual other, that erotic desire for what one is as a sexual being is sexual narcissism or sexual self-deception, an attempt at completing oneself sexually through merger with a sexual same, and that most people intuit something developmentally deficient about being erotically attracted to the body parts and essential gender that one shares in common with another. And I'll take these one at a time. First, erotic desire for what one is as a sexual being is sexual narcissism or sexual self-deception, an attempt at completing oneself sexually through merger with a sexual same. Now, the American Psychological Association has said this about sexual orientation. They said that sexual orientation refers to an enduring pattern of emotional, romantic, and/or sexual attractions to men, women, or both sexes. Sexual orientation also refers to a person's sense of identity based on those attractions, related behaviors, and membership in a community of others who share those attractions. Now, the other study that I would like to cite is this, and that is a study that was done at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, which compared 30 committed gay males and 30 committed lesbian couples with 50 engaged heterosexual couples and 40 older married heterosexual couples, as well as with dating heterosexual couples. And all the partners responded to a questionnaire that documented how positively they interacted with one another on a day-to-day basis, and they were also observed during a laboratory task and were monitored for distress by skin conductance and heart rate. The results showed that same-sex relationships were similar to those of opposite-sex couples in many ways. All had positive views of their relationships, but those in more committed relationships, gay and straight, resolved conflict better than heterosexual dating couples. And lesbian couples worked together especially harmoniously during the laboratory tasks. A conclusion by lead author Glenn Roisman, who has a PhD, said that the notion that committed same-sex couples are atypical, psychologically immature, or malevolent context of development was not supported by our findings. He said, compared with married individuals, committed gay males and lesbians were no less satisfied with their relationships. Another quote from the American Psychological Association, and it had to do with the nature of same-sex relationships. And it says that research indicates that many lesbian and gay men want and have committed relationships. For example, survey data included that between 40% and 60% of gay men and between 45% and 80% of lesbians are currently involved in a romantic relationship. Further data from the 2000 U.S. census indicates that of the 5.5 million couples who are living together but not married, about 1 in 9, that's 594,391, had partners of the same sex. They indicated that there are 301,260 male same-sex households and 293,365 female same-sex households in the United States. It goes on to say stereotypes about lesbian and gay and bisexual people have persisted. For instance, one stereotype is that the relationship of lesbians and gay men are dysfunctional and unhappy. However, studies have found same-sex and heterosexual couples to be equivalent to each other on measures of relationship satisfaction and commitment. A second stereotype is that the relationships of lesbian, gay men, and bisexuals are unstable. However, despite social hostility towards same-sex relationships, research shows that many lesbian and gay men form durable relationships. For example, survey data indicate that between 18 and 28% of gay couples and between 8% and 21% of lesbian couples have lived together 10 or more years. It is also reasonable to suggest that the stability of same-sex couples might be enhanced if partners from same-sex couples enjoy the same levels of support and recognition for their relationships as heterosexual couples do. So that takes care of the sexual narcissism, the sexual self-deception, being attracted to body parts and things like that. It's just not true. And in fact, I also have another article, and it's what the brain looks like. It's what the gay brain looks like. There was an article in Time, in the Time Science, and It basically states that scientists at the Karolinski Institute had studied brain scans of 90 gay and straight men and women and found that the size of the two symmetrical halves of the brains of gay men more closely resembled those of straight women than they did of straight men, and in heterosexual women, the two halves of the brain are more or less the same size. In heterosexual men, the right hemisphere is slightly larger. Scans of the brains of gay men in the study, however, show that the hemispheres were relatively symmetrical, like those of straight women, while the brains of homosexual women were asymmetrical, like those of straight men. Go figure. And that the number of nerves connecting the two sides of the brain of gay men were also more like the number in heterosexual women than in straight men. So the whole idea that there is a deficiency in mental health or anything like that is completely unfounded. And not only that, these people take samples and they make it a general rule. They take small samples and say, okay, this is how everybody is like. And it's strange because homosexuals have been oppressed, they have been ostracized, isolated, outcast, and for centuries. And in this country, for the duration of its history, up until the decriminalization of homosexual in the 1970s. But still, there has been families that have rejected, their homosexual children, even kicked them out of the house, forced them onto the streets into situations that they're, not familiar with, and so, and this has been going on for so long, and so these people, are forced to throw their lot into with other people who've had similar experiences, and society pretty much ignores them, or when it does even pay any kind of attention, it condemned them. And you expected all homosexuals to have the same kind of relationships that what you would say normal people would have. It's just it's like blaming the victim for for how he reacts to being victimized. And it's the same thing that was done back in the Jim Crow days with African Americans. They were kept in poverty, uneducated, ignored, and then lambasted and further persecuted for being ignorant. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to end this video. Again, the next video is going to deal more with with logic and reason, logical structure of their argument, of the arguments made. And please subscribe, please comment. I value all input and support. And until the next video, I will see you later. Bye.